Welcome, chess fans. Are you ready to witness some electrifying gameplay and thrilling tactics? Today, we've got an exciting chess match in store for you, and I can hardly contain my enthusiasm. Get ready to join me on this journey as we explore the intricacies of this beautiful game. So, buckle up and get ready for a heart-pumping, action-packed ride. Today, we have an exciting match between Rapist 69420, playing white, and Iquan_Nazir, playing white, on chess.com. The game began with the e4 opening move by Rapist 69420, which was answered by black with e5, following which the knight developed to f3 and then to c6. The bishop developed to c4, and black played h6 to prevent any ng5 tricks, leading to Italian game, anti-fried liver defense. The Italian game is a classical opening in chess that is known for its strategic complexity and attacking potential. The opening is named after Italian chess players who first developed it in the 16th century, and it involves a central pawn advance by white, usually with e4, followed by developing their knights to f3 and c3 and their bishop to c4, known as the Giuoco piano. In this specific game, we have a variation of the Italian game called the anti-fried liver defense. The name comes from a well-known attacking sequence that white can use against the standard Italian game, known as the fried liver attack. The anti-fried liver defense is a way for black to avoid the fried liver attack by playing an early h6 move, which stops white from playing ng5. After the moves 1, e4 e5 nf3 nc6 3, bc4 h6, black is prioritizing their pawn structure and defending against any potential attacks by white. However, the move h6 can also weaken black's kingside pawn structure in the long run, so it's important for black to be careful and make sure they're not creating any significant weaknesses. Overall, the Italian game and its variations, such as the anti-fried liver defense, offer a fascinating and complex opening to study and play. It requires strategic planning, accurate calculation, and a good understanding of pawn structure and piece development to be successful. Continue to the game, white then played c3 to support the d4 pawn, and black answered with nx e4, attacking the pawn on e4. In response, white played qd3, eyeing the f5 square, and black pushed f5, forcing the queen to retreat. White continued with nx e5, which was immediately captured by black's dx e5. This exchange allowed black to open up the d-file and position the queen on d7. White then played dx e5, and black captured with the knight, leading to a double pawn for white. As the game progressed, white played a few passive moves, allowing black to gain more space on the board. In contrast, black continued with active moves, resulting in a more favorable position. The queen was then traded off the board, and black pushed the f-pawn further, creating a pawn chain that threatened white's position. White tried to defend by pushing the g-pawn, but black responded by moving the queen to e8, and then both the rooks to e8 and d8. The threat of ng3+ led white to move the king to the h1 square, and black exploited this opportunity by moving the knight to g3. White captured the knight, but this allowed black's bishop to check the king, forcing it to move to g1. The game reached a critical position when black played qh5, which threatened mate on h2. White could only defend by moving the queen to f1, but this opened up the g2 square, allowing black's queen to deliver a checkmate on h2. The lesson we can learn from this game is the importance of maintaining a strong pawn structure and not neglecting the development of minor pieces. In this game, white's pawn structure weakened after playing some inaccurate moves, such as playing the dx e5 move, which created isolated pawns. On the other hand, black's pawn structure remained strong, and their minor pieces were actively developed, which eventually led to a powerful attack and a checkmate. Therefore, it is crucial to pay attention to the pawn structure while developing your pieces in the opening. Try to avoid creating weaknesses in your pawn structure and make sure your minor pieces are developed to active squares. Additionally, it's important to constantly evaluate the position and make sure that your moves do not weaken your position or allow your opponent to gain an advantage. Overall, this game highlights the importance of pawn structure and minor piece development in chess, and it is a great reminder for all chess players to focus on these fundamental aspects of the game. In conclusion, this was an exciting game of chess where black played an excellent game, taking advantage of white's passive moves and creating a dominant position on the board. This game is a good example of how important it is to control the center of the board and not make any careless mistakes. The strategic moves and tactical skills displayed by black led to a checkmate, and the game ended in favor of Ikhwan_Nazir.